When the weather cooperates, camping is a cheap way to get out of town, but it often comes at the cost of the environment. Luckily, there are some simple changes anyone can make for a more eco-friendly and sustainable trip to the great outdoors. Avid camper and sustainability expert for World Centric, Olson, has some ideas and tips. Lauren, welcome to Great Day Washington. Thank you for being here.
Thanks for having me.
As people are really wanting to get out in the summertime, but want to be careful and social distance, I feel like camping is a great way to do that. What are some ways that when people are out camping that they can also keep the environment in mind?
Well, one of the big things is really just thinking more about what you're bringing to the campsite and how you're going to have to bring nearly all of that back home with you. So really minimizing the waste that you bring, the packaging that you're bringing, and trying your best to leave things better than when you came to the campsite.
Right. I saw some of the things that you were offering, like plates that were made from eco-friendly material.
Yeah, definitely. So, if you need like a single-use sort of plate, we make all of these plates out of agricultural byproducts. So this contains sugar cane, which fiber left over from the sugar making process. And then also we have a great line of cutlery, and so you can use this, and it's made out of corn plastic. And both of these products will fully decompose in a compostable system that your municipality might offer, so a commercial composting system. So you can feel a little better about using single use while camping, because you're utilizing products that are made from biological materials and can fully decompose.
I don't think it's camping unless I eat a s'more, which means you need a campfire. What are some tips for people to safely put that campfire together?
One of the big things is not to move wood from long distances. You can also bring with you other pathogens or maybe insects that are not native to the area. And so a big thing is really buying wood near the campsite where you'll be staying. That way, you're not contaminating anything. Another thing that you can do is really just use natural fire starters. For example, just like natural materials you might find like pine needles or pine cones or something like that, rather than trying to bring some sort of synthetic chemicals or utilize some sort of petroleum fuels in order to light your fire.
Yeah, you don't think about what's all seeping into the earth then if you use those. I mentioned s'mores would be on my menu. What are some other things that you can eat that don't provide a lot of waste left over while you're camping?
Well, I always try to bring more bulk items. So for example, maybe bring I have couscous I might bring in bulk, for example. Rather than, bringing individually packaged items or things that are in plastic. So that's a big thing. Maybe, shy away from, for example, the chips that are individually packaged for the kids, and instead get the big bag of chips. And I know things get more complicated as we think about COVID and food sharing and things like that. So I'm really sort of emphasizing things as if you're traveling with your household, with the people that you normally are sharing things with.
Right, that makes sense. And once you are done with your trip and you're packing up, I love this advice you've been saying, leave no trace. Why is that so important?
Well, it's more important more than ever because a bunch of these parks maybe don't have the full staff capacity in order to clean up the park effectively, or they might be very busy in terms of sanitizing different aspects of the park, such as they might have to do more bathroom sanitations than normal. So it's more important than ever to really pay attention to what you're bringing into the park and being a good camper by packing everything out, not littering at all. So the big thing with leave no trace is really not to leave any trace of any sort of litter or any sort of material on the ground. And one thing that you can do is utilize, I know in my area, they don't allow me to bring reusable bags into the grocery store anymore. So I have now a plethora of single-use bags. And those are great for if you want to separate out your waste at the campsite so you can have your trash, your recycling, and even bring a bag for compost. I know I usually just bring my kitchen container for compost, and that way I can bring all that home with me.
There's always a use for it somewhere else. Lauren, thank you so much for all of these tips today. Have a safe and fun summer.
Yeah, you too. Thanks for having me.
So remember to try and keep your outdoor adventure at zero waste, and be sure to take all of your trash with you when you leave the campsites.